the scrolling up game?
Yeah, sure. Thoughts on Xbox?
Xbox Game Pass?
X-Base.
X-Bass. You can fish for it. Okay, anyways, thoughts on Xbox Game Pass, and does it offer enough of the games you like to play? Well, it
So
never
it's a great
works
question for you.
me.
Yeah.
Halfway talked about this already, but I don't know.
I like the idea of it. I really think that it could be a good service, but it's just so shoddily done. It's just halfway there. And some people have no issues with it, and some people have all the issues with it. And even in my own household, for instance, Solentre has a completely different version of the app, which is it's so weird. Like, his version looks different, it behaves differently, and it works flawlessly. And then on my computer, which, like, same version of Windows and everything, I have a completely different UI, and it just
Have you
doesn't
checked
work.
your version number?
Not
Maybe it needs an
not
update. Because I
No,
know
I
the
mean,
UI
I've
on mine
updated it.
changed recently with an update.
I've updated it, and I even changed computers entirely and reinstalled it, and it's still different. So it makes me think that they have like a beta branch or something, maybe, that people can't like opt out of. I don't really know what the explanation for that is, and like, it was working for a while, and then now it's not. So I canceled my subscription because this is like the second time something has just gone terminally wrong with Game Pass for me. And
I mean, Evil
Game
Trick has
Pass.
the same issues as you, right?
Yeah,
Say-
Evil
say that
Trick
again?
wasn't able to play
Yeah.
games for like
Oh.
2 weeks because they all like refused to launch and couldn't re-download and all that.
yeah, it was so weird because it was working just fine. Like, when I was streaming Age of Empires, I had no issues and we were able to play together. And then just one day Game Pass is like, nope, your subscription doesn't work. You don't have a subscription. Oh, you do, but nothing will launch. Okay, we'll try to launch it. Nope, error. And just like just throwing stuff in the air at Game Pass.
So I'm one of those magical people that's never had an issue with it. But then again, I'm also one of those magical people who's never had any issues with like Windows. Like, the most Windows has ever done is like broken my audio setup, and I have a weird audio setup with like 8 different controllers, so it like doesn't really surprise me all that much. So it's like every now and again everything will get reset, and I just have to go through and like click a couple buttons to fix it. But like, to me, Game Pass is a very specific thing because right now it's kind of my Age of Empires subscription, but also comes with a AAA game that I play. So for me, as long as I'm playing one like AAA game that I wouldn't normally buy a month, it's worth it. And I think like none of us own an Xbox, right?
No.
I have
Okay.
an Xbox 360.
None of us own an
storage.
Xbox. Okay. Like an Xbox that runs Game Pass, right? Game Pass, if you have like an Xbox Series X or an Xbox Series S or an Xbox One even, is phenomenal because there is so many more games on it, it's not even funny. Strictly from a PC perspective, I don't think it's worth the money for a normal average user right now. Just for the games it's offering, unless you are playing like one at least $20 game a month. There is a world where it's the best deal in the world, and that's when you pay $1 for it on the special like thing that happens every so often, which you can get repeatedly and not super frequently, but like once or twice a year you can get them for like 3 months for $1. I think the bigger concern with Game Pass for me is like what it's going to do to the industry in the long run. Is it going to be a benefit to creativity? Is it going to be a negative to creativity? Is it going to be a benefit to everybody? Is it just going to be the place where the people who are owned by Microsoft put their games and nobody else gets to put them there? I think if you can get it for $1, it's a great deal. But if you're only playing on PC, be a little wary, I think. Keep an eye.
I think it's a great deal if you're a person that likes to try out a lot of different games and play them and test them and see if you like them or not. Because basically, if you hit a certain threshold of hours played of games that are on Game Pass, where that threshold is up to the user. Is it 5 hours per month, 10 hours per month, 30 hours per month. You know, if you hit that threshold, then it is worth it. For me personally, I actually haven't had Game Pass since I got it the first time for, you know, where I had the, you know, £1 for a 3-month deal, because, not because I think it's bad value, but I prefer to own my games and have them on a storefront and just have them,
But you
as
don't
much
own the
as you can
games.
quote unquote own a Steam game, which is, you know, a whole nother
You're buying
topic.
a license to play the game. Anyway.
Yes, it's different, but it's still different because I don't need to have an ongoing subscription to the game to a different service to be able to play the game, right? I prefer that. And I've also had some issues. I tried it for 2 different games. I tried it when Grounded first came out. I played that in multiplayer. That one worked fine. I tried again later on for when Minecraft Dungeons came out, and that was a mess. Because I had a card, Lex didn't, and we tried to play multiplayer together, and it was a mess. Like, the game wouldn't launch. It was exactly what you had. The game wouldn't launch. It says there was no active subscription. Then it said, you know, game isn't installed, etc., etc. So for me personally, it's currently not worth it. But then I just don't have that many hours to game off stream where I play like games for me, and I already have my time filled with the few games that I have on Steam.
I mean, like, just as an example, FG, that Rainbow Six game that you mentioned briefly, it's on Game Pass. Like,
oh yeah.
In a world like all of the Hitman games are on Game Pass right now. I don't know. It's to me Game Pass is like the biggest. It might be for you, it might not be for you, depending on your situation. Product on the market right now.
Absolutely. I think it's great if you like to test out loads and loads and loads and loads of games and maybe play them for a bit longer than Steam lets you. You know, you can play loads and loads of games, test them for 4 or 5 hours, then put them on your Steam wishes and buy them to keep for quote unquote ever. I know, you know, whole thing. When they're on sale.
Something that I really like that was coined over on the Giant Bombcast relatively recently is It's Thereware. Which is, it's not a great game. It's not a bad game, but it's there.
Yeah.
So I'll play it.
I like it.
I don't need to pay for it because I've already paid for it. And I've stumbled on a few games recently that I would consider thereware. Like, I would never play Rainbow Six Extraction, right? But it's there, and I could download it in an hour or less, probably. It's like, I would probably never play Peggle Knights, but I'm looking at it right now, and it's there.
See, that's
I'm downloading Peggle
also
right now.
Yeah. See, that's what you say. That's also, I think, a big issue. It is also a service that is easier to use for people that have fast internet.
Yes.
Because you say, I'll just quickly download this. I'll say, I'll start the download now and play it tomorrow. And yeah, I don't know.
And that
Like,
never happens?
I can't test out many games just in an afternoon or evening to find what I want to play until I move in 3 weeks. New internet hype. But anyways,
This leads back into the topic that we had earlier about like streaming services, right? Because like once they have xCloud operating on PC Game Pass, you won't need to do that theoretically because you could just try it with the click of a button, right?
True.
So, like,
Which makes it more attractive, I think, actually.
yeah, and like another example is like I was playing Remnant from the Ashes on Game Pass with a friend of mine who bought it on Steam, and he was like, "You want to play Remnant?" I'm like, "I don't own that," and I looked it up. It's on Game Pass, and I downloaded it, and we played like 2 hours of it, and then I deleted it. And I'll never play that game again. But it was there.
Yep.
Also,
yeah, I mean, I would say, like, just kind of edit what I said before. Beyond my like recent frustrations with it, I have enjoyed Game Pass because I sort of consider it like a demo service. Like I'm paying a low price because I usually pick it back up when there's a promotion. So I'm paying a very low price to be able to demo very expensive games. So that's how for instance, CK3, I first tried it and was like, I don't know about this game. Like, it looks cool. I don't know if it's for me. Tried it on Game Pass and was like, yes, this game is absolutely for me. I would have never given this a try on Steam because I wouldn't buy it. And that was an opportunity. And same with Age of Empires. Like, I wasn't sure I'd like that one either. And I had the opportunity to demo it. So I look at it like the opportunity to demo. And then you can just delete and move on. Just move on with your life.
I do think it needs to be said, though, it's almost already a monopoly when it comes to the subscription service game model. Be wary about corporations. This is not sponsored. I wouldn't say that this is an endorsement. And I have a feeling that there probably will be a point where I drop it. As nice as the service is, it's one of those services that scares me.